I just wanted to do a real quick overview of our revised syllabus for our situation now for being online for the lab. So first off, I'm going to tell you I am home and there may be some noise, but I just wanted to get this in real quick to give you guys some structure regarding your lab. So I did a lot of review. I've been in touch with various program directors throughout really the region and the country, and I did some research on what can we do as an accredited school to make up for this lost lab time. And so we still haven't rolled out the outcomes that we had for you, but they're going to look different based on the given scenario. So I wanted to share that with you today. I want to tell you I appreciate your patience in all of this, that I really wanted to make good decisions, and I'm not someone that jumps to a decision really quickly, especially when this situation, it was changing minute by minute, hour by hour. I really wanted to take a breath and watch where this was going. And your safety is number one, and that is the reason at the end of the day why I chose this. I think it is best for everybody, given the circumstances and the recommendations. I think based on our situation that we have time to make up what we have missed, this is the most reasonable and professional decision that I could have made. So I am more than happy to discuss, my decision process, my reasoning, anything. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to share that with you. So go ahead and reach out. Now, I want to jump into the syllabus. So for your previous class, you had scanning assignments, you had lab competencies. We only have the lab competency for carotids down. So we have to make up for that. So I'll talk about that here at the end. For whatever reason, I could not get this to copy well, but you can see here we have week 10, week 11, and now we're in week 12. So I just showed you what happened the last 2 weeks. So week 12. You are going to be receiving, probably already have, a email from me telling you what to do for this Simtex is what it's called. It's a simulation program for ultrasound, vascular, and cardiac. It has several. Simtex really has a lot of modules. So what we're going to do for that is your first things first that you're going to do is you are going to watch the tutorial and go through everything in the tutorial. You will not get a certificate for that, but you still need to go through that, okay? So the first things first, you're going to get an email from me. It's going to have your sign-on. It's going to have directions for sign-on, and then you're going to go and be able to do the tutorial for the Simtex. So that will be your first step. I want you to complete that, and that will count as an assignment. Then your first module for vascular is going to be ultrasound of the lower limb veins. So for each module, you are going to complete the following. So I'm looking in that portion in the red. You're going to read the text that is offered. So there's a didactic portion. That also goes along with a video demonstration. You're going to watch that if you need it, and then make sure you go through that didactic portion. What's nice about that video is it's synchronized with the text, so it's following that video where you're at. So if you're really struggling with some of the text material, you can just hop onto that portion of the video. You also have some 3D anatomy you can visualize and look at, which is pretty cool, so take the time to do that. The big thing is there's simulations on here. Simulation means that you're simulating ultrasound. We can't be with each other in the machines right now, so we're going to do it via online. The best way to do this is with a handheld mouse, if you have one. I know most laptops don't have mouses these days, but if you do have a mouse, it's going to work best that way. So try to get your hands on that. If you have trouble finding a mouse, let me know, and maybe Ed Tech or someone can help us with that. Best way to do this is on a computer or a laptop, like a desktop or a laptop. You can navigate with an iPad and your phone, but you cannot do the simulations on them. You have to be on a computer or a laptop. The simulations have practice modules and they have a test module. One test module and then either 2 or 3 simulations. And the test module is just actually one of those practice simulations. And it basically, what it does is gives you patient scenarios and you walk through the exam. So I highly suggest you go through all the practice simulations. Sorry, I've got my baby here. All the practice simulations, and then you take that test, okay? So I would do that, and you are required to do that. You also have to attempt the quiz, okay? So there's something called an OWL quiz, and then there's also something called the regular quiz, I think time quiz. I'm fine with the OWL quiz. That OWL quiz does not time you. So you have time to go in and out. And the quizzes are all based on that didactic information that you've gone over prior. And then the time quiz, obviously you can set a timer for yourself if you want to challenge yourself. So that's the basic outlet of each module. So to get a certificate, you need to be in the module for 1 hour, okay, at a minimum. So, and then you also have to get an 80% or higher on your test simulation. That is how you get a certificate that you need to take. You'll be turning in on My Methodist, which we'll talk about here in a second. So everything in red on your syllabus is what you must do for each of the 3 modules, 3 modules that I'm giving you. Okay, and we'll talk about that for each one. So if you follow over here on the assignment section, you will submit a PDF copy of your certificate via My Methodist. So in your tutorial, it'll explain to you how to access the certificate. So you'll do that. I think in that email that I send you to, it has a link where you can see how to do that. So I'm fine if you take a picture with your phone and upload that. I just need that to see that certificate. That's how I'm going to be grading you. So, for example, week 12, you're going to be doing the tutorial. There's no certificate for that, but you have a logbook. So everything you do within the Simtex, I essentially can see. I'm not watching you every second, please. I wish I had time to do that, but I don't. So, but I can go in and be like, okay, they did the tutorial. So that is something that I will be checking for that. As far as the Simtex, your first assignment is going to be the ultrasound of the lower limb veins. So that is when you'll turn in that certificate. You're going to upload it to My Methodist week 12. And that has to be uploaded by Sunday, April 5th at 11:55. In addition, nothing that you have to turn in, you must also meet all requirements that are listed in red on week 12. So we're really going to follow the requirements in red for each of the modules. So that is when I will go into your logbook and be like, okay, they did X, Y, and Z. All right, so let's move on to weeks 13 and 14. For week 13, you're going to be doing the ultrasound of the lower limb artery. You'll upload that certificate by April 12th at 11:55 p.m. and you must meet those requirements once again in red. I will check the logbook for that. Week 14 is going to be the ultrasound of carotid, subclavian, and vertebral arteries. Same situation here, except it's going to be due by April 19th. And once again, I'll be checking your logbook to make sure that all the requirements were met. Finally, week 15 and 16. So week 15 and 16, we start to change a little bit. So for week 15, I'm going to have you do vascular 1 and 2. There's 2 of them. They're separate, but they're integrated clinicals. So these are just simulations, and it's just like an overall review. So just to go back and redo the simulations that they give you. I just want you to go through each one at least once. You will not get a certificate for this section, but I'll be able to see that you've worked on those. So just know that that's how you'll get your grade for vascular 1 and 2 integrated clinical. So there are 2 of those, 2 separate modules. Vascular module 1, integrated clinical, and vascular module 2, integrated clinical. Also that week will have a video posted for you of the lower extremity venous section as a review, and I will have a worksheet with that. And finally, week 16, our last week of the semester, I'm going to have a video for you regarding cerebrovascular systems. There's going to be a part 1 and part 2 with that, and I will also have a video worksheet for that as well. Okay? So at the bottom, you see this writing. It says Symptyx, the lower limb vein and the lower limb artery. Both of those will count as your lab competencies. So I really encourage you, you need to get those done. Those need to be your certificates that are uploaded, and then you meet the requirements that I said in red, and that will be your grade. I am counting those as lab competencies. All other assigned work in weeks 12 through 16 will be counted as a scanning assignment. Okay, so we're still following what we had for our grading system. It just looks different. I do realize that I have not graded your final vein and your critique. I will. There's a reason I have not done that, is because I really needed to see where were we going with this class. Because I needed to know, am I going to count that as a competency, which I didn't want to do because you guys aren't far enough on that. So now that I have this Symptyx in place and I have a way to assess you going through things, I prefer to go through it this way. So I will be grading your last Venous assignment and your critique. I haven't forgotten about that. I'm very purposeful in that. So that's really it. I also want to add that with this program, there are quirks, just like any other technology. I will say I spoke to the Symptyx representative, and they are very, very helpful, and they really seem to respond quickly. You will have, when you go to the new Symptyx, the original website page, you're going to have a little box where you can contact them, and they really respond well. So if you're really struggling with anything within the program, I want you to contact them for help with technical support. I'll be going through these as well, but I'm not the guru on this. That's why we pay for these. That's why we pay for them. I would really appreciate it if you went through them to get help. Now, if they bump you to me, or if it's a question they can't answer, please, please, please reach out. And I'm not saying you can't reach out. You might just have me guide you to them. So just think about it that way. I've heard totally mixed reviews, but it's more positive than negative, for sure. Of course, scanning in person is ideal, but that's just not going to happen this semester, given the current circumstances. So what is our next best thing? Well, we want to keep your mind in scanning, and I really felt like this was the best way possible. So I took this out of our student training budget, and I really wanted you guys to have something that kept your mind and your hand essentially in the game somehow. So please come to me with any questions. This is how it's going to flow as far as the program goes. Start to get your feet wet. I hope you enjoy it. I'm really hoping we like the program, so we'll see how it goes. Be patient, and any issues, like I said, refer to the Symptyx representatives that can help you for messaging, and you're always welcome to ask questions to me as well. If I missed something or didn't send anything, shoot me an email question, and I'll get back to you, and I'll try to share that with the group as well, because chances are somebody else might be thinking it too. So anyway, have a great day, and I will talk to you next week. Thanks.